Welcome to the Florida Adventuring Series episode on practical wilderness navigation. Hello, I'm Reed Tillery. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a simple but effective way to find your way through the wilderness. To do that, I need to introduce four simple terms: baselines, directions, checkpoints, and aiming off. First, let's look at baselines. A baseline is any feature of length, such as a road, river, trail, jeep trail, or shoreline that serves to restrain your wandering and help guide you to your destination. Using a baseline such as this backwood road simplifies finding your way because it's a lot easier to find a lengthy terrain feature than to locate a specific point in the wilderness. Finding a specific point in the wilderness is like hitting the bullseye. Finding a baseline is like hitting the side of the barn on which the bullseye is pasted. Directions mean north, south, east, or west, or some point in between. With baseline navigation, you don't need a precise compass course accurate to the last degree. Normally, you can proceed using either one of the cardinal directions or one of the main points in between, such as north, northeast, east, southeast, south, and so on. If you're 2 kilometers east of a north-south road, for example, you can find that road by heading in a westerly direction. A checkpoint is any point along a baseline where you can point to your map and say with confidence, "I'm right here." That could be where two baselines such as a trail and a creek intersect, or it could be, for example, a sharp bend in the trail, river, road, or other baseline. The main criterion for a checkpoint is that you can easily recognize that spot from the ground. The map provides a bird's eye view. You, the navigator, must be able to take that bird's eye view, interpret the terrain around you, and relate it back to the map. An intersection of two baselines or a sharp turn in a baseline makes that easy to do. Aiming off means proceeding to a baseline in such a way as to arrive at it on one side or the other of a checkpoint. Let's say you park your truck next to a paved road and head off into the woods north of the road. Using your compass, you walk in a northerly direction for a few kilometers. If you walk back in a southerly direction, you're liable to end up either far to the east or far to the west of where you left your truck. Your only recourse will be to walk in one direction and perhaps the other until you find it. If you aim off in either direction, however, you'll then know which way to walk back to your truck when you find the road. In this example, you aimed off to the east, walked back in a south-southeasterly direction, so you know to walk west along the highway to find your vehicle. When proceeding overland to your baseline, imagine yourself following not a thin straight line, but a wide straight travel corridor through the woods. In your mind's eye, make the width of this travel corridor 200 or 300 meters wide. Now, when you encounter obstacles in your path, as you normally will, just bypass these obstacles, alternatively on the right and the left, with the intent of trying to stay near the center of your imaginary travel corridor. Your trek through the woods will be a series of parallel straight lines through your imaginary travel corridor, interrupted here and there by obstacles you must bypass. But with the wide travel corridor in mind, these obstacles won't seem so much as if they were throwing you off course, because your imaginary travel corridor is in itself a straight path to your baseline. Let's put it all together. To travel long distances cross-country, look at your map and select baselines and checkpoints between you and your destination. Then, using your compass to guide you, set out to your first checkpoint. We'll call it checkpoint alpha, which of course will be along a suitable baseline. When making your way to that baseline, be sure to aim off to one side or the other of checkpoint alpha. When you reach the baseline along which checkpoint alpha is located, make your way to your checkpoint. Once you arrive at checkpoint alpha, or any checkpoint for that matter, all navigation error that may have accrued is now gone because you know for certain where you are. Leaving checkpoint alpha set out for the baseline along which checkpoint Bravo is located. Aiming off from checkpoint Bravo, make your way along its baseline until you arrive at checkpoint Bravo itself. By dividing a long cross-country journey into small manageable treks from one checkpoint to another, your navigation job is made much easier. You can travel cross-country across great stretches of wilderness, finding your way from one checkpoint to the next. Now let's look at a specific example. Let's say you're at the intersection of Forest Road 101 and Forest Road 100 at the southwest corner of the map, and you wish to travel to the parking lot at the northeast corner of the map where you left your vehicle. You decide to break the trip into 3 legs. The first leg will end at checkpoint Alpha, which is located at the convergence of Long Branch and Crocodile Creek. Your next checkpoint, we'll call that checkpoint Bravo, will be where the power lines cease running north and south and begin running east and west. And finally, your last checkpoint will be your destination, the parking lot. Setting out from Forest Road 101 and 100, you don't travel straight to checkpoint A, but you aim off a bit to the north to hit it upstream at Long Branch. Once you reach Long Branch, you follow it downstream until you arrive at checkpoint Alpha. There at checkpoint Alpha, any navigation error which is accrued is now gone because you know exactly where you are. Leaving checkpoint Alpha, you head due east to the power lines. Once you find the power lines, you then walk north until the power lines begin to run east and west. Finally, you head to the parking lot, but instead of going straight to the parking lot, you aim off a bit to the north and intersect with the blue trail. When you find the blue trail, you follow it to the east to the parking lot, and there you are at your destination. One word of caution here with direction. Your compass doesn't actually point to true north, but to magnetic north. The difference between true north and magnetic north is called declination. In Florida, the declination is only about 5 degrees west, meaning while in Florida, your compass dial's indicator, usually signified by a big N, will be pointing to true north whenever the compass needle is pointing to 355 degrees or 5 degrees west of the compass dial's north indicator. Florida wilderness navigators, using the methods presented in this video, can disregard declination, since it's not enough to matter when traveling only a few meters to a lengthy baseline. In other parts of the world, however, declination can be off as much as 20 degrees or more. So find the declination where you are. Then remember this saying attributed to author Gregory Couch. Map to magnetic, it's a fact. Left add and right subtract. Left means west declination because west is left of north, and right means east declination because east is right of north. If your declination is west, just add that number of degrees to your intended course. If your declination is east, simply subtract that number of degrees from your intended course. You'll find the information presented in this video and more in Chapter 8 of my book, Surviving the Wilds of Florida. It's the only survival book I know of written specifically for Florida. Although it's about Florida, it nevertheless contains ideas that could prove useful in other parts of the world. I hope the information in this video proves helpful to you. Until next time, have fun and stay safe. This is Reed Tillery reminding you there's always another adventure.